Coca-Cola and foreign market entry. If you go back to 1942, Coca-Cola had a very limited international presence, and that may surprise you because oftentimes we talk about Coca-Cola as one of the most notorious global brands. But at that time, they were basically in just Canada, Cuba, and Germany only, outside of the United States. So what was happening in 1942? World War II was happening, so it wouldn't seem like an obvious time to go out and pursue expansion into foreign markets. But Robert Woodruff, who was the CEO of Coke at that time, made this statement in 1942: "We will see that every man in uniform gets a bottle of Coca-Cola for 5 cents wherever he is and whatever it costs our company." So he made this commitment, and at that point there was a shortage on a lot of commodities, including sugar, and Coke had stockpiled sugar and decided to sell some of their stockpiled sugar to the United States government as a goodwill gesture. So after doing that, a Coke executive, probably not by coincidence, was then placed on the government sugar rationing board. And as they determined the ration for the various companies, Coke was the only soft drink company that was exempted from the 80% quota that was put on all other companies. So the others were only allowed to use 80% of their normal supply, while Coke was allowed to continue to use whatever they needed to meet their demand. So, as a result of this, during the war, 64 bottling plants were established, and those happened on every continent except Antarctica. And most of these bottling plants were paid for at government expense. So because they wanted to get the Coke to the troops, the government was willing to foot the bill to make that happen. And Coca-Cola was considered a vital supply for our troops in the field, just like fatigues, guns, ammunition, and sea rations. So there were 5 things a soldier needed to fight in the war. He needed a uniform, a gun, ammo, food, and Coke. And so you may be wondering if this is real or how this could happen and how Coke pulled this one off. Well, if you listen to the statements from the soldiers who received this Coca-Cola, you'll see the genius of what Woodruff identified and understood and how he used that to Coke's advantage during the war. So these are quotes from actual soldiers, testimonials of when they received Coca-Cola. "I always thought it was a wonderful drink, but on an island where a few Americans have set foot, it is a godsend. I can truthfully say that I haven't seen smiles spread over a bunch of boys' faces as they did when they saw Coca-Cola in this godforsaken place." Another one. "One real bottle of Coca-Cola, the first one I have seen here. It was pulled out from under the shirt of a pilot. He caressed it. His eyes rolled over it. He smacked his lips at the prospect of tasting it. I offered him $1 for half of it, then $2, $3, and $5. Remember, Coke sold for 5 cents at that time, and he was willing to offer $5 for half a bottle. This week, Coca-Cola came to Italy. Seemingly everyone had heard the rumor, but no one put much faith in it. How could it be true? Coca-Cola is some vaguely familiar nectar reminiscent of some far-off paradise land. Italy is a land of sea rations and spam and dehydrated food. To have this drink is just like having home brought nearer to you. It's one of the little things of life that really counts." And then finally, one soldier summarized the sentiments: "If anyone were to ask us what we are fighting for, we think half of us would answer, the right to buy Coca-Cola." So hopefully this gives you a little example of a great strategy to expand a product into foreign markets and a way of doing that amidst a really turbulent economic environment where most would think it would not be feasible.